Hi everyone, my name's Rich and welcome to Warhammer Time. In this video, I'm going to try something a little bit different and just have a little bit of a discussion with you. I'm really testing out the area, testing out the camera and seeing whether this format of video works. So let me know what you think. Now, I have chosen a topic for discussion and that topic is Age of Sigmar 4th edition. Is there going to be an Age of Sigmar 4th edition? One would imagine at some point there will. If we look at Games Workshop releases previously, we are getting into a pattern of Age of Sigmar and 40k, the two flagship games, getting a new edition about once every 3 years. Some people might see this as a cynical cash drive to re-enthuse the community, have people buying more books and more models. Others will see it as a natural evolution and progression. After all, during the life cycle of an edition, we get new releases all the time. We get loads of new miniatures, loads of new figures, sometimes even entirely new factions. Plus, Games Workshop have been very keen to move the narrative on of their games. They don't want the setting to stay static. It's not a historical war game. They don't have to just talk about what happened in a particular era. They can move on. And we see that in both of them. In Age of Sigmar, very much happening at the moment with the Dawnbringer Crusade. So we've got 3 books which move the narrative on and tell us new stories. So people were theorizing, thinking, maybe even predicting that Age of Sigmar was going to get a 4th edition sometime next year, maybe around June. That's the guess, kind of a big summer release. Now, I'm not sure whether that's going to happen. And I say that for a few reasons. I did wonder at one point whether the Cities of Sigmar were going to take over as the poster boy faction for a new edition. I thought it was such a big release, so many new units, so many heroes, that maybe that's what they were going to go for. But it's out now and no hint of a new edition. So that made me think, just return to my normal stream of thought. It's going to be Stormcast Eternals versus something. We probably won't get a new big bad, so it's going to be Stormcast Eternals versus Chaos, Stormcast Eternals versus Death, or Stormcast Eternals versus Destruction. It will be one of those, one would imagine. Now, something has made me think that there was a plan towards a release, and that's now not happening. And what's made me think that is the release of Ionis Cryptborn. So Ionis Cryptborn was a hero in the 1st edition of Age of Sigmar. He's come back with a new model, a completely different model, now riding a dragon, a really powerful model. If you've seen my TikTok about him, he's pretty ace, he's stacked. Why is he not the leader of the Stormcast Eternals faction in the new box set in the way Indrasta was in the last box set? Why not? Well, is it because they were planning on a new edition and they've paused or delayed or had a rethink? Why would they do that? Well, we now know, of course, that the old world is nearly ready to land. And I don't suppose anyone knows how big it's going to be. Lots of people have been super excited about the old world. Lots of people have been planning their old world armies since before it was even officially announced. The old world, of course, brings back the world that was, the world that pre-existed before Age of Sigmar. So there were the end times that killed the old world. Age of Sigmar comes about aeons later. But the old world is being retold. I mean, after all, just because something's happened doesn't mean we can't replay it. That's how all historical war games work. So the old world comes out. We now know it's early next year. We've seen some Bretonnian units. There are a lot of people out there who already have armies. Whether those armies are going to be entirely playable or not, we don't yet know. But also, the Age of Sigmar release has made us realise that there are still models being sold today by Games Workshop which you can play in the old world. I just did a TikTok about the Griffin Rider. That's a perfectly legal unit in the old world, or at least it was. We assume it will be again. So, have they thought bringing out the old world and then releasing another edition of Age of Sigmar is just trying to sell 2 big boxes, 2 new games, effectively 2 new editions at very least, to the same market? And is that too much? I don't know. This is entirely speculation. Let me know what you think. And are you looking forward to the old world? I'm not sold yet. I never really got to play Warhammer Fantasy Battle. I played it a couple of times. I had the 2nd edition, I think, but we just didn't have enough money as kids to really get into it. So we played the battles with the stuff you got in the box, which wasn't necessarily that satisfying. And maybe got a game with some other people that own more once or twice. So there's lots I like about it. I think Cities of Sigmar is kind of scratching that itch. In terms of rank and flank games, I am a big fan of A Song of Ice and Fire, and I'm going to be talking about that in a video very soon. In fact, it might be the next video I do. Anyone else play A Song of Ice and Fire? What do you think about it? How do you think it compares to the GW games that I normally talk about? And again, what would you like to see in these videos? So this is a new format of video for me. It's just me talking to the camera. I haven't even picked up a model. I have now, but I haven't talked about any specifics. I've just sort of rambled. Is it interesting? Is it boring? Do you want me to just go back to previews? Do you just want me to go back to posting a picture of a unit and telling you what the rules are as I understand them? I am going to do some book reviews. I've already said that. I'm working my way through the Harbinger book, enjoying it more than I thought. In terms of the narrative, I thought it's just a book to sell models. But that would be grossly unfair to the people that made it. Tons of effort's been put into that narrative. I am really enjoying it. So I hope to bring you some discussion about that soon. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think, and most importantly, please do follow me. Silence, pause, cut video.